Hey there, internets. So, I didn't get the video out on last night due to work going late, but they're talking like they're on the verge of a deal regarding the border. About damn time. Um, but the thing of it is, it's still not that great a deal. And why? Well, and I got this. I had to look it up, CBS News, to see what they're talking about. But they're talking about being able to shut down the border if daily migrant crossings hit over 5,000 for 7 days or 8,500 a single day. And I gotta say that that's way, way, way too high. And it says it could be also activated on a discretionary basis after the average daily crossings surpass 4,000 a week. How about when they surpass any? Okay, let's be honest about this. You're talking about enforcing the law to begin with. When you say we're not going to shut down the border, you're saying we're not going to enforce the law. So if you're not saying, well, as long as we only have 5,000 people a day or 4,000 people a day come in, 28,000 a week, that's 100,000 a month, million a year come in, not we don't need to worry about it. We don't need to shut down the border. No, you need to shut it down, period. What you need to do is codify remain in Mexico. Most of these people that are coming, they are not refugees. They are not fleeing war. They are not fleeing famine. They are not fleeing some sort of major natural disaster that wiped out everything in their home country. They are wanting to come here because this is a testament to America. That even with whatever problems we have, they would rather be here than where they're at. And this whole thing sits squarely on the Biden administration. Because before the Biden administration took over, they said, oh, yeah, we're going to change all these policies back to what they were. And somebody organized a caravan that was already headed north when Trump was still in office so they could be there at the border as soon as Biden became president. He dismantled all that. We need to shut it down completely. All they need to do is say, we're going to enforce the law. And they're not doing it. Now you can say, well, they have to give them a hearing and all this. Look, and remain in Mexico isn't codified. They just simply say, we're going to codify remain in Mexico. No, there is not a place for you to come if you come across the border illegally. That's what all they need to do. And for once, Republicans have grown some kind of spine and are digging in against it. If Democrats really want that, divided government means you got to negotiate. Well, in this case, the Biden administration and the Democrats have to negotiate with some Republicans and say, what does it take to get the Ukraine deal? And if people really think it's just about politics, I say either side should be prepared to call the bluff they think the other one's pulling. They give us what we want. I'm sorry, but in supporting Ukraine financially into this war, why are we supporting their civilian economy and their retail sector and that sort of thing? No, we shouldn't be. Their economy needs to be on war footing anyway. They're fighting for their survival. Why are they not in total war? And when I hear about Ukrainians not being willing to be drafted and fight for their country, it doesn't make me want to put much risk for them. If your country's in danger and you're not willing to fight for it, why should I fight for it? Why should I fund your fight? But that's beside the point. Republicans should say, look, take the Ukraine, strip down the Ukraine funding to just the military aid, get the aid for Israel, get the aid for Taiwan, and put in this border protection because our borders are important too. All right, and of course Democrats would really want to get in amnesty or something, but you know what? No, amnesty is not cool because it's an insult to every last one of the legal immigrants that have come here. The legal immigrants go through this pain in the butt process that can take years to come here, have to wait in line, and you're gonna let somebody stay because they managed to skip the line, come in through the back door, and now you're gonna say, well, they've been in here long enough. Bull crap. Those people in particular should be sent back immediately. And they talked about it during the 2012 election when Romney said, well, they'll self-deport. Yeah, you make it impossible to get a job, they won't stick around. But all they really need to do is just enforce the law as it is. As for the standoff between Texas and the federal government. So, in the Constitution, Article 1, Section 8, as I recall, and I'll just double check it because I keep a copy of the Constitution right here. Article 1, Section 8. I can find my spot. Says armies. Congress's powers to, uniform rules of naturalization and uniform laws on the subject of bankruptcies throughout the United States. So, the federal government does have uniform authority. They're also supposed to protect every state from invasion. And this is an invasion when people are coming in these numbers. The Biden administration could do a lot. How about looking into whoever's organizing these caravans? How about looking into finding out who they are, because they are aiding and abetting criminals and shutting it down? If it's some side of charities, shut them down. Freeze their bank accounts, take their money, and shut them down. As far as the border states shipping, like Texas, shipping these illegal immigrants to northern states like Illinois and New York, even my own state of Washington, where they are sanctuary states, absolutely. Please send them. Because maybe at some point somebody might say, if we can't handle it, what makes us think that Texas could? Make them deal with the problem. Maybe they'll wake up. I've been watching something else where a price went up because of a regulation, and I commented to somebody, I wish they would have just raised the price in one shot. And he said, yeah, it looked like they were just easing people into the new price. And he says, and the person said, yeah, because you want your I told you so moment. I said, yes, I'm thinking, yes, I do. I didn't say it to him. I'm thinking, yes, I do want my I told you so moment, because maybe then people would start thinking, maybe I should change how I vote. So you got this conflicting thing on the border, protecting the state having to protect itself from invasion, and federal government having authority on the border. Well, technically, it's probably correct on a legally correct basis. It is not a morally correct, and people upset at Amy Coney Barrett need to just step back and say, there's a difference between what's legally right and what's morally right. And the Supreme Court doesn't get to always do what's morally right. They have to rule on the law. But come on, Biden administration, step up and enforce the law. Come on, you sanctuary states. Maybe you should stop being sanctuary states. Because if Texas's concertina wire is illegal, so is your sanctuary laws. So it all needs to stop. Yes, if you want, and one of the provisions is possibly an increase in certain kinds of legal immigration. In this CBS article, one of the more contentious issues have been immigration parole authority. The president doesn't have to use it. They can just say, look, you're not being paroled into the United States, and we're going to keep you in lockup. There's also a compromise expected to include provisions related to legal immigration. Negotiators have agreed to allocate 50,000 new family and employment-based immigrant visas, offer permanent residency to tens of thousands of Afghans brought to the U.S. following the fall of Kabul. Honestly, that's no different than when we had to deal with South Koreans who fought for us in South Korea, and provide immigration status to children of H-1B visa holders. So 50,000 is a drop in the bucket when it comes to immigration. But here's the thing: if you want people to legally immigrate, you got to provide a means for it. It's better to open up that gate a little more and allow for an orderly manner, and say you do not belong because you're the criminal element, and bring in the people that work hard. Then to say nope, we're gonna keep everybody out, and then that pressure is gonna have to be released somewhere. And it's gonna get released in the form of illegal immigration. But the Biden administration isn't interested in actually enforcing the law or being serious about this. There's a serious proposal would be, again, shutting down the border, period, and saying we're not letting you stay if you don't remain in Mexico. Because I'm sorry, if you can go from one country to another, to another, to another, you wouldn't be in danger. You must not be in danger in those other countries. Otherwise, you wouldn't go through them. The end goal is here. They are economic migrants. They're not refugees. Period. And that's just how I see it. If you disagree, say so in the comments below. Offer your solution. And if you're going to say we should just let people in, with what money? With what resources? Because Texas don't have them. Have the resources. I guarantee you that. Until then, you all take care.